Most content is not leverage. It is noise with a timestamp. It appears, asks for attention, gets a few reactions, then disappears into the feed like it was never forged. That is why posting more does not always change your life. You can publish every day and still build nothing that compounds. You can fill a calendar and still have no trust. You can chase trends and still have no signal. Because the question is not, did you post? The question is, did the post become a tool? Did it make your skill easier to see? Did it make your point of view harder to ignore? Did it move someone closer to trusting you with a real problem? If the answer is no, you are not building leverage. You are feeding the machine. You know this pattern. You have ideas in notes, hooks in drafts, screenshots saved for later, and half-written posts. A content calendar that looks serious until the day arrives and your mind goes blank. You tell yourself you need consistency. That is partly true. But consistency without a system can become a treadmill. You keep moving, but nothing gets carried forward. You publish a thought on Monday. On Tuesday, you publish something unrelated. On Wednesday, you react to whatever is loud. By Friday, the feed has evidence that you are active, but not evidence that you are useful. That is the private frustration. You are not lazy. You are not out of ideas. You are striking the metal from too many angles. You have not chosen what the tool is supposed to become. So every piece starts over. Every post has to fight alone. Every idea has to introduce you again. Every audience member has to guess what you actually help with. That is expensive. The one-person empire cannot afford content that resets every morning. It needs content that stacks. Inside the forge, noise is easy. Anyone can swing a hammer. The sound of metal on metal can make the room feel productive. But the blacksmith is not paid for the sound. He is paid for the shape. Every strike is supposed to move the steel toward a tool. A blade, or a hinge, a key, a crown. Something that can carry force after the fire is gone. That is leverage. Leverage is not effort. Leverage is effort that keeps working. The post that explains your standard keeps working. The story that proves your method keeps working. The breakdown that shows your judgment keeps working. The framework that names a problem keeps working. The case study that turns a vague claim into evidence keeps working. The quiet lesson that makes the right person think, this one sees the problem clearly, keeps working. But random content does not do that. Random content is a spark. It is bright for a second, then it cools on the floor. The few do not build with sparks. They build with patterns. They choose a problem, a point of view, and a skill they are willing to prove in public. Then they return to it with different angles until the audience stops seeing posts and starts seeing authority. That is the shift. Not louder, not busier, not more desperate for attention. Clearer, more useful, more repetitive in the places that matter. When every piece points to the same deeper signal, the work begins to compound. The audience does not have to decode you. The market does not have to guess. The right people start connecting the pieces. They see what you notice. They see how you think. They see what problem you return to when nobody is paying you yet. That is how content becomes trust before the offer arrives. That is how a small account starts feeling bigger than its numbers. The leverage was never the algorithm. The leverage was the repeatable proof. So here is the practical turn. Do not build a bigger content plan tonight. Build a sharper one. Choose one repeatable idea, not 10 categories, not a full brand universe. One idea that can become a forge. Ask yourself 3 questions. First, what problem do I want to be trusted with? Be specific, not productivity, not success, not mindset. What exact problem? A founder cannot turn attention into revenue. A creator cannot explain their offer. A solopreneur is drowning in tools with no workflow. A beginner keeps consuming AI content without building anything useful. Name the problem. Second, what skill or judgment can I prove around that problem? Can you simplify, diagnose, build, or teach? Can you document a process? Can you show taste? Can you take confusion and turn it into a next move? That is your hammer. Third, what repeatable content loop can show that proof every week? Use 3 strikes: proof, problem, offer. Proof means show the work. A before and after. A system you built. A lesson from the last execution. A clear decision and why it mattered. Problem means name the pain better than the viewer can. Show them where the leak is. Show them why the old approach keeps failing. Show them what they are avoiding. Offer means point the attention toward a useful next step. Not always a sales pitch. Sometimes it is a checklist. Sometimes it is a question. Sometimes it is an invitation. Sometimes it is a simple line that says, "This is the kind of problem I solve." That loop is enough to start. 1 proof piece. 1 problem piece. 1 offer-aware piece every week. Same forge, different strikes. Do that for 30 days and your content will stop feeling like a performance. It will start feeling like a machine. Not a soulless machine. A disciplined machine. A machine that turns private skill into public trust. Your content does not need to be louder. It needs to be more useful after the scroll is over. It needs to leave evidence. It needs to make the next right person understand what you see, how you think, and where you can help. The feed rewards sparks. The empire rewards tools. So stop asking, what should I post today? Ask, what tool am I forging in public? What problem am I becoming known for seeing clearly? What proof can I leave behind before the day ends? Then make the strike. Not for applause, for leverage. Dia. Problem. 1 repeatable loop. Proof, problem, offer. The few do not post to be seen once. They build content that keeps working. Forge the tool. Then let it carry force.